That's why that company, because behavior change requires more than a push notification, an email, a text message to go log into an app. That I am firmly a believer that for accountability.
Today, it's the only morning show where we talk about the business, the tech, the money, and the systems quietly rewriting your career while you're still explaining clamshells to someone named Bob. Today, why a $1 billion tech company says PT first while actively replacing physical therapists. How Dave accidentally got discovered by artificial intelligence. We need to reverse engineer this, because if you're not doing that, you're not going to get discovered by the artificial intelligence. And how that same technology is now listening to evals in real time from miles away. This is going to be a Dave-heavy episode. If you like rehab, business, and light existential dread before 9 a.m., you are in the right place. Welcome to PT Breakfast Club, which brings us to our very first sponsor, TheraBand AI. TheraBand AI, the world's first resistance band powered by artificial intelligence. Did your TheraBand need AI? Probably not, but we added it anyway. And tracks tension, posture, mood, and your therapist's confidence, and offers real-time coaching like more tension, less tension. Honestly, just ice it. TheraBand AI, because if it doesn't have AI in it, is it even rehab anymore? Learn more at why is this smart.health TheraBand AI. Does it need AI? No. Should we put it in there? Absolutely, we should.
I mean, if it doesn't snap, if the AI TheraBand does not snap anymore and snap and break someone's orbital socket, like that's a win.
I had one of those things happen. Like Stroops, the dude from Stroops I was doing a live stream with, like a while ago. It's like, well, that's not a thing. And then I had it happen, a resistance band that was just in my basement for a while, hadn't used it, was going to do some deadlifts, was warming up, snap, did hit me in the face. That's not an exaggeration. That's the thing that happens. The big story, we got to get into this one. We figure out what to talk about in what everybody does, families, group chats, right? And this one popped up. I think, who brought it up? You, Dave, or Tony? I saw it too. Yeah, as you saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I was going to share this one as well. Larry Benz, who I'm going to run into at Graham Sessions this week, dropped a scorcher. Larry Benz giving 0 Fs, breaking down Hinge Health's brand new state MSK care report. They're bold enough to be like, hey, everybody, we're Hinge Health. We have virtually no physical therapists, but we're going to do a state of the union for you. Honestly, power marketing move.
It's a bold move.
Old move. Let's see how it plays out for. State of the MSK report. On the surface, it is a beautiful argument that patients should see physical therapy first. Pause for dramatic effect. Well done. Clap, clap, clap. No notes, except for, here comes some notes. The company publishing it is a $2 billion tech firm whose entire business model is built on making sure patients don't see a physical therapist. Oh, man, are we getting rugged or what? They diagnose the system pretty well, then sell a solution that actually just provides a detour around everybody in the profession. They're like, wait, what happened here? I thought they were for us. This isn't a tech story. This is an incentive story. So here's the big idea. When the company replacing you becomes the loudest advocate for your profession, you should probably read the fine print. So Dave, why'd you bring this one up? Why was this? I mean, whoa, where do we start?
Well, first of all, I respect Larry Benz significantly. He has I don't know when he started in private practice, but it was a long time that he was in private practice. And then he had, I almost said Concentra, Confluent. I don't know, I think you had mentioned like maybe he stepped out of that in the last year or two, and like retired or semi-retired. But in terms of private practice and PPS, he is like one of like the main authorities. Good.
I was going to say, he retired and stepped back out. He launched Confluent. Not as long as I thought ago. It says 11 and a half years, but he did a lot in 11 and a half years.
Yeah, to take something and make it into, I think they're close to they're at least I think 500 locations, maybe closer to 1,000 locations. I mean, now, of course, you're buying chains and groups, so it's a roll-up strategy. It's not like each one was a de novo, but to even do that in 11 years is just beyond impressive.
Yeah. All right. So we're starting the article. How would you explain this to someone who hasn't read this?
Dave froze. He's not frozen here. Okay.
Well, I said, how would you explain what was going on in this article? Why was it important to bring up? Why is it our lead story? Like, you don't have to give me specifics. If you have them, great, but dig in. I've got some question starters or whatever, but I wanted to hear from you first, since this was just sort of your suggestion.
I agree with a lot of what he said around Hinge Health and Sword Health over the past couple of years. I think I hate to say the word thought leader, but I think if there's anyone in our profession that's a thought leader, it's Larry Benz. I remember back in 2020, 2014, 2015, he was heavy into Twitter. His hashtag or his handle is @physicaltherapy on Twitter. He's always been leveraging social media, and kudos to him. Like, he's obviously was like full on deep in his career and utilizing technology that was like newer and novel, and whether it was networking. I've just been a fan of his. I actually never met him. I would love to meet him at some point. I know Jimmy, I think a year or so ago, you joked like you were gonna invite yourself to his like Kentucky farm or his mansion, whatever, his estate, whatever he's got down there. And I was like begging to, if you do it, I want to come along with you.
I don't know Larry well. We've interacted a few times. The vibe I get is he'd be like, yeah, okay, when? Like, he wouldn't even say okay. He'd just be like, yeah, what's good for you? Is it tomorrow? He writes a lot. He's been doing this more because the technology's gotten better, right? And he's an inch wide to mile deep kind of guy, because he'll write a post, but it'll lead to an article that just goes deep into a problem. And I think he's a thought leader, and I'm using air quotes, because he doesn't need the attention. He's doing it because he cares. He's like, here's what I see. He's like, sort of like waving. This is what I see. Hey, everybody, in 2 years, you're going to be like, where did this come from? And Larry would be like, look at my post from 2 years ago. That exact thing happened. So here's some can you claim PT first when PTs weren't even in the room writing the report? Like, is that the thing that what pisses us off the most? Or are we just giving them their own flowers going, hey, well done. We're getting smoked here.
Let's ask, I want you to ask Tony. So Tony, is Hinge Health valid, and are they okay to write this when they operate the way that they do?
Yeah. I read the article a couple times. There was a couple quotes in there that, totally made sense. I don't see the problem. Like, they're basically saying, look, we created this solution, this platform, this amazing technology. Yes, we agree. Patients should be seeing a physical therapist first. We have everything else covered, and I think collectively, the three of us generally agree, like, the therapist's most valuable position, at least right now, is the evaluation, establishing the plan, identifying comorbidities, complexities, factors that are going to influence care. It is not in the delivery of the care. The AI analysis and watching people do stuff and improving compliance and all that can be outsourced to a platform like Hinge or Sword. Our role is more just kind of oversight, maybe initial evaluation. The fact that they don't have 1,000 therapists on staff doesn't bother me at all. I think this is a great opportunity, olive branch, to say, hey, we're not leaving the profession behind. We want you guys to come along with us. We want the actual therapist to work alongside us. Let us do our part, which is what the technology is designed for. You guys do your part. And when you think of the consumer, their consumer, it's the employer, to my understanding. People who are working, they're not that complex. We're not talking about people who had amputees and strokes and brain injuries and pediatrics. We're talking about the same people that walk into my clinic, that are going to work after PT, that are coming to PT after work. They're fully functional. They just need a little guidance, which is what the AI platform can do. And I would step in either before, during, after at some point, but I don't need to be the main one delivering the service.
Here's a question for you. Who benefits the most here? Patients, employers, shareholders? Like, who's going to benefit the most from it? That's what, so what, now what? This is sort of in the so what territory. So who benefits the most here?
Potentially insurance companies, because they're finding a way that they're offering a cheaper alternative to billable units. Insurance companies like it. That's why they agree to it. That's why they send out promotional Hinge Health, Sword Health emails on their behalf. That is probably the most savvy move of Hinge Health and Sword Health, is that they've gone either directly to employers or they've gone to the insurance companies. And insurance companies, they want to hold money. They want to pay out less, like they want to continue to make more billions. Like, it is a genius business model. The founders of Hinge understood that, and they don't care about they don't care about my style of delivery. They don't even care about Tony's style of delivery. They're like, we have a potential alternative solution, and it's a screen, and maybe there's a little health coach, maybe there's a little physical therapist on the front end, but really it's just someone that has back pain or whatever and following exercises on a screen.
Yeah.
As a side note, I know we hammered this before, but there was the company that Tony brought in about the coaching. What was that, like the coaching tiers for accountability? It was mentioned on the Sampar and
my Fitness Pal or my something. My body tutor.
My body tutor.
Okay.
So when you were describing, Tony, about AI can do the accountability and this and that, no, it cannot. That's why that company. Because behavior change requires more than a push notification, an email, a text message to go log into an app. That I am firmly a believer that for accountability, like this, like I know we're still live. This is not AI apps. Like, there's accountability. Like, I know I got to finish my get dressed in my hair and brush my teeth and my breakfast. I got to make sure I'm here live because you guys are going to just go live at 8:30 a.m. anyway. Right. So there's accountability. Now, if this was just like, oh, it's just like Hinge Health notification, whatever, and I could just do it whenever, I'll push it off. So I disagree that Hinge and Sword and all that, Tony, can be replacing all of the accountability, which is one of the big components of behavior change and pain relief and recovery and wellness and health and all that.
Question that's on screen right now: are PTs quietly losing the front door to care? I mean, instead of having to go to individuals, they're going through. So the question was, that was asked: are PTs quietly losing the front door? Will we eventually be only left with the back door?
So this is, a great visual display of, okay, we still have a free market to some level. It's going to be decided. Right? If the consumer wants what they're producing, the consumer is going to choose it, and we will decay. The profession will die out. If the consumer doesn't want it, my biggest fear is then regulation steps in and somebody in government somewhere says, no, we got to listen to Dave. We got to listen to the therapist. We can't allow this to happen. And it stifles innovation. It takes away the opportunity for a company like Hinge to either live or die on their own merits. And it just, that's what really concerns me here.
Yeah.
Moving forward, I said this before, the consumer in general across the entire country over the next 5 or 10 years will not want Hinge Health or Sword Health. These companies will go away. I'm telling you, they do not. The insurance companies want this. They want this product and service.
Sure.
Any other stakeholders want this product or service to minimize paying for billable units or physical therapy or whatever. The consumer, the actual employee, we talked about this before, an employee at, I don't know, Cargill or Walmart, and they get Hinge Health and Sword Health for free, and they get fired or they leave Walmart or Cargill, they move to another job. Now that job does not give Hinge Health and Sword Health for free. That person will not pay $10 a month for Hinge Health or Sword Health. The consumer does not want this. Now, Drew, right here, Drew Cruz, thank you for joining in live. He's saying, wouldn't we rather have those people on the remote side and more complex in person? Yeah, sure. That's fine. That's fine. The people on the remote side, there needs to be some human accountability on the other end, in my opinion, to do remote programming and all that. When I paid Mike Laviolette, the physical therapist, to do remote programming, I knew that if I was not clicking my exercises and submitting my workouts, and he was asking me questions in between workouts or every other day or every other week, I knew that there was some human accountability. That made me change my behavior. My goal was to work out and break a sweat every single day. But I knew the crux of it was like, I have this urge to satisfy this other human. There's some oversight. They're watching me. And when it's digital, there is no influence there's significantly less influence. So yes, Drew, you can have those people remotely. Why not do that yourself? I know Tony's talked about remote programming or remote therapeutic monitoring. You could have it as a self-pay service. But as a standalone service, Hinge Health, Sword Health, no consumer is going to pay $5, $10, $15 a month for it out of pocket if they don't get it through their employer. Full stop.
Don't disagree. Someone was having this conversation yesterday, and I appreciate where they were coming from. But they were like, hey, wouldn't you pay? They were sort of taking Tony's model of $100 a month access to his clinic for gym. But they were like, wouldn't you want for $100 a month, $25 a week, a daily check-in with your PT, an email update, a blah, blah, and what they were talking about, what I was watching in real time was feature. And my response was, what's their problem? Like, what is the benefit? Now I get an extra text message every day. I got to be honest with you guys. I need less text messages. I need better text messages. The people I want texting me are important. I bought a Christmas present a month and a half ago, and now I'm getting 3 text messages a week. I get it, right? Get the cell phone number, get the email address, ping. If they're not going to buy, make them unsubscribe. That's not a long-term, not for us. That's wrong. That's the wrong strategy. It's the right strategy if you're trying to sell me a duffel bag. My man, I just bought a duffel bag last month. My duffel bag problem is solid for a while. I'm good on the duffel bags. I know you also sell golf. This is Agio, golf bags and this. And I know you. I see you. I'm going to now unsubscribe. So understand what problem you're actually solving. I don't know that Hinge Health has that yet.
So I would say, again, reading through the article, trying to process and understand, I will make recommendations to an orthopedic surgeon when I have a patient in the clinic who may benefit from an orthopedic surgeon's assessment. I don't employ an orthopedic surgeon. I don't get any benefit from an orthopedic surgeon. I see this as no different. They don't need to go into the business of live physical therapists in order to solve the problem of delivering physical therapy. And so it's just, I think it's great that they're acknowledging, hey, yeah, it'd be amazing to have a physical therapist in the loop to get a physical therapist's evaluation, but we're not going to pay for it, i.e. Hinge, we're not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because that's not the business we're in.
It's too ambiguous. What am I getting? Right? Like, we have different problems to solve. We have, what the hell do we, what are we? Someone had a post the other day about the movement system. And I was like, that was coming out like 10, 12, 13 years ago when I was sort of in PT school. And I was like, I don't know what any of this crap was. I half know what any of this stuff is now. But I was like, I definitely don't know what the movement system is. And then I was looking into it. And then, of course, I'm like, I got AI now. So I've got some posts coming out next week that sort of poke the bear, like, hey, this was actually a good idea. We screwed it up. We screwed up the marketing of it. We went to flowcharts and white papers and round table. We went to PDFs instead of JPEGs. We should have made movies about this. We should have done live streams instead of, let me explain to you what the movements is. If you can't explain it in 12 seconds, you don't have a thing. You don't have a good idea. That's actually not true. But if you can't explain it in 12 seconds, no one else is going to think you have a good idea. You might have a good idea, but if you can't explain it, it doesn't matter. Hinge is really good at explaining stuff to a different audience. Right? Am I wrong? To employers, they go, hey, do you want to do a thing?
It's cost savings. Yes.
Do it for less. So here's my question. Is this what they're doing, healthcare innovation or HR innovation? I know that I have an opinion, obviously.
It's like financial engineering. I mean, it's not manual therapy.
Correct. Yes. Except we're getting rugged here, right?
Yeah, but if you're going to waste, from an employer perspective, if you're going to waste money, let's waste less money. If I'm going to pay for one of my people to go see Dave, and I know my person isn't going to do what's prescribed, they're not going to do the home exercises, they're not going to follow Dave's instruction, why am I going to waste $250, $500 when I can waste $20? Like, we're going to put the effort out there. But I mean, it's the same thing for me in the clinic. Like, I'm not going to pay for an expensive home exercise delivery system because I don't expect my patients to do the home exercises. If somebody will do it, I will spend the money, but they're not coming to me for that. So I don't want to switch topics, but I'm dying to hear about Dave and the
Yeah,
AI listening when
let's
you're.
jump. Let's jump.
I have a transition. We have to pay the bills, guys, but let's hear from Ben. Ben usually brings good idea. Hinge is applauded for pushing the acceptance of digital PT. Hinge is applauded for addressing MSK cost of care. Hinge or something like Hinge is necessary in the true scheme of population health for MSK. It's an inexpensive to deploy layer that reserves in-person PT skilled care for those who truly need it. A good front door. You want to be in the front door business. You don't want to be in the back door business. I'm just using analogies, guys. But it is part of the solution, not the solution. It's never the solution, right? This is never the thing. It's always part of the thing. It depends. All right, let's switch a little bit of topics, but we got to pay the bills. We got a good one. This segment is sponsored by Goniometer GPT, the first range of motion tool powered by artificial intelligence. Simply point it at the joint and it confidently reports approximately 90-something degrees, probably. Auto-generated progress with optimism and 3 contradictory measurements per visit. Goniometer GPT, because accuracy is overrated, but AI is trendy. Order now at trustthealgorithm.io. Goniometer GPT. All right. So, Dave, a patient found you. You dropped this in the group chat, like super cash, like, hey, Grok got me a payment. And I was like, the tight end from the Patriots. You're like, no, not Grok.
Yeah,
Grok.
I spelled it incorrectly. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you spelled it incorrectly. I think I just read it incorrectly because I have ADD or whatever. Dyslexia. We may be entering a world where patients don't search for clinics anymore. Think about that. We never wanted to search for the answer. We wanted the answer. I mean, I got when I was growing up, like, hey, I was taught, ask questions, figure things out. Hey, what's this? Go look it up. I wanted the answer. You told me to go look. Okay, got it. I could have done that. So we may be entering a world now where patients don't search for clinics. They ask for a solution to a problem. And I hope you're the answer. So let's reverse engineer this. How did you know that's where it came from? What found you? Like, tell the story.
Yeah, well, I want to cover this briefly because I definitely want to get into the us recording patient encounters through an AI app, recording audio. That's a little teaser. In terms of this, new patient called in, secretary always gets contact information, a little bit of patient demographic information about what's going on. Are they looking for an office visit? Because yes, guys, we have an office. Or are they looking for a house call? So, if it's a house call, what's your address? That type of stuff. And they always have to ask. Otherwise, I would be very mad. They have to ask, how did you hear about us?
Did you hear?
And so I mentioned here on the show before that we've had maybe 2 or 3 people find this through ChatGPT when they're prompted, hey, how did you hear about us? Because historically it's been like, other than word of mouth or a physician or nurse agency or whatever, it's usually Google. And so we had those 2 or 3 previous ChatGPT leads. And now yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, we had our first lead patient or prospective patient come through Grok. And I actually have never used it. I had to pull it up and I was, this is the thing that's like through Twitter or whatever, but it looks just like ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. Yeah, they look very similar. And so that I spoke with the prospective patient because I got to hear this, but then I went into my normal approach. So I could maybe ask, but I didn't ask like, what did they look for? What did they prompt? But they were looking for a home visit. They were looking for a home visit, and I can't remember the guy's date of birth, but he's like in his 30s or 40s. So obviously typically a younger person in general would be more likely to use these tools. Not always, but in general right now. So so that's interesting, but that's it really.
But so you might be right. You might say something like someone older, we're going to be ageist here for a second. I apologize, Kathy Cholik and everybody from APT Geriatrics. You might say someone who's 60 years old 60 plus isn't going to use AI. But now when you Google something, the first result is now there. They're not waiting for you to go look for that. They're jamming it where you are already looking, which if you're going for user adoption, that's the way to go, right? Like Google's quietly saying hey, this is a threat, but we have one. So we're going to put it as the first search result. I would love to hear what were they looking for? How'd this start? Even before the emotional, we're going to take care of this. And then you have all these options. What'd you do? And then on the flip side, how did Grok know that you were the answer? Is it SEO? What are we calling search to AI suggestion optimization. I know somebody already probably has a term, but like it's SEO for AI. I don't know what it is, but
prompt optimization. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a word that comes up soon.
What'd you do to be the answer? Somebody asked me 2 years ago, or in a comment was like, how do we get AI to make sure that when someone asks a question like this, we are the answer? And I was like, you need to be the answer is what I'm looking at. But how did they know is the answer for that guy? Like, I want to know how it thought.
Well, that I don't have the answer, but I'm assuming so even right now, like if you, I think you did this before, if you pulled up like, it's called AEO. Oh, so artificial engine optimization. So like SEO, search engine optimization. So artificial engine optimization, AEO. So I think if you just typed in like in-home physical therapy Manhattan, then it'll give you like the top 3 or 5.
Ben Galen said Dave quietly whispers into his Roomba every day for how great AI and robots are. And then AI or robots, of course, then search answer engine optimization. AEO.
Answer. Okay.
Do you guys know Pete Holmes? He's a comedian.
I don't know.
He's funny, and you've seen him, and he does this bit, and I don't know. I don't know if I can tell the bit because he has to say the word, saying it. And he's like stopped in the middle of the comedy routine. He's saying it. He's like, I want to buy a bleep. I want to buy a bleep, bleep. I want to buy a big bleep, 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 bleep. And everybody in the audience is like, what? He does it for like a minute. And then he goes, good luck with all those targeted ads over the next week. And I was like, oh my God, he hacked everybody's algorithm in theory. But like, that's the question, which is like, what's the input? We want to be the output, but we need to understand the middle. And then how, of course, to hack the system with what Will is now educated as his AEO, answer engine optimization. I like how it's answer engine and not AI, because like, if you are the answer, I do want you to be found. I don't want you to be the best kept secret in your town.
I'm sure it comes back to pulling from whatever your current digital footprint is, right? So like online reviews, Google reviews, Yelp reviews, maybe SEO pages on your website, I don't know, or like backlinks. I can't imagine it being that much different than SEO.
That was my question now to Tony. Everything's just a circle, guys? Are we back to make sure there's words on your page? And probably now everything's smarter just by we used to put words on white background in white text at the bottom of our web pages so we'd get found. It was like a way to like hack the system. And then when AI was reading job resumes, we were doing that. And everything's a Cold War, right? I have missiles. I have 50 missiles. I have space lasers, right? Everything's just like a little bit to whatever. What's the right way? Because what you want to do is you want to do it the right way so you don't get dinged, because you might always get, shadow banned or whatever. So my question, to Will or Tony or like, whoever's listening right now,
hey, I remember that.
Hey, yo. Man, you got some
well,
Tony Danza. Like, what are they talking about? I don't know the right way.
So, Jimmy, the right way, just like we do in the clinic. What's the right way in the clinic to treat a shoulder? Eat better, sleep better, exercise more, manage your lifestyle. What's the right way for Dave to show up in Grok or ChatGPT? Create a presence, share information, deliver unique perspectives, answer questions that other people aren't answering, or answer common questions in unique ways. Yep. That's it. There's nothing to it. There is no hack. There is no special formula. The people who do try to find that, it's temporary. Like Google has been fighting SEO for decades. I mean, you just need to provide value and let the machines do their job.
Yep. Do it the right way. I'm helping. I got my first cohort of my How to Launch a Podcast YouTube channel course. It's going well. And I've come back to the same principle, because I know I'm talking to healthcare people. A lot of people in the class are PTs, most are PTs. And I'm saying, guys, listen, I want you to keep this in mind. So talk to the audience in a term or a phrase or a word or a concept they already know, and now bring it to the new thing that they don't know. Frequency, intensity, time, type, volume, progression. Those are exercise principles. They're communication principles. Answer the boring question. Answer it in text, answer it in video, answer it on LinkedIn, answer it on your website. Do it 10 different frequency, intensity, time, type, volume, progression. Do that. Drew's like, that is me. I'm in this cohort. Yes. But how many times, Drew, validate this for me? Have I said the same thing 17 different ways, even in the course. Again, people didn't join my course because they could have Googled or AI'd how to launch a podcast. They didn't need that. They needed clarity and guidance. They needed me to hold their hand and hold them accountable. That's named PT.
The accountability. Shocking. It works if you have a human there.
All
Wow.
are the same thing. These are parallels.
Hey, it's Dave Kittle. Are you a healthcare business owner or physical therapy practice owner who is looking to figure out your succession plan or exit strategy? We might be able to help. And in fact, we may be interested in acquiring your practice. If you're interested, you can reach out to me. Shoot me an email at dave@conciergepainrelief.com. That's DAVE@CONCIERGE painrelief.com. Or you can call me at any time, 646-781-8884.